everyone, welcome back to Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Today's video is all about a bit of a book haul, and I've got some library book hauls to show you as well. It's getting out of hand. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name's Alice and I have way too many books, and in spite of having way too many books, I seem to have hauled quite a few books lately, and there were reasons, but I will tell you about those in a moment. The first thing I wanted to actually show you is a library book haul, and the library book haul has taken place mainly because I foolishly decided that I was going to judge the Booktube Prize Final, and yeah, so I'm judging fiction for the Booktube Prize Final, and there are only 6 books remaining, so I have those 6 books to judge. I had already read 2 of the books going into it, which is Demon Copperhead and Trespassers by Louise Kennedy, and since I've started judging I have now read Foster by Claire Keegan, which I borrowed on the Libby app. I have a few here for that as well, one of which was kindly sent to me by a friend. So we'll start with library books, we'll go into non-library books, I'll let you know why I got these things, and we'll go from there into books that have actually been hauled onto my giant TBR, which is unfortunate because of the ongoing situation with it being too many books. Starting with the library book haul, I ordered this one because I was going to buddy read it this month with Gemma from Gemma Books and Jess from Stalking Kafka, and I'm very happy to say that that buddy read is happening starting at the weekend, I believe, and it's I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. And I actually had this recommended to me again when I made a video where I asked for recommendations for post-apocalyptic and dystopian books, so I knew that this was going to be a good one, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. I also have what was the Killer Reads Thriller Month book club pick for July, and this has come in new from the library, brand new, because this book was recently had a reprint by Penguin, and this is The Night of the Hunter by Davis Grubb, which is supposed to be a bit of a crime classic. It's one of these very nice new Penguin editions that have got green spines and backs and cool new covers, so looking forward to this one. The opening of this blurb says, 2 young children hold the key to a secret stash of money and a relentless psychopath is on their trail. So yes please, and that's a nice short one too. I'm going to read that as soon as I can so that I can catch up with the Killer Reads Thriller Month book club. So the next 2 I borrowed for reading for the Booktube Prize Final, and I haven't started either yet, but I have Trust by Hernan Diaz. This was longlisted for the Booker Prize last year, and it also has recently jointly won the Pulitzer Prize with Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, so it should be interesting. I believe that this one has like 4 different very distinct sections, and it says on the back that it's about a Wall Street tycoon and his young wife rising to the top of New York society in an age of excess and speculation. As with the other Booktube Prize ones that I mentioned, obviously I will be doing a wrap up separately of those at the end of the judging, which will be, I think the winner will be announced on the 1st of October, so I have to read these by the end of September. And the final one in my library haul is Young Mungo by Douglas Stewart, also in the finals of the Booktube Prize, and I think I might be one of the only people on earth who haven't read Shuggie Bain, because I just think it will be too depressing for me, so I haven't read that yet. But I'm going to start therefore with Douglas Stewart's second book, I believe, which is Young Mungo, and that was from the library as well. So moving on into books that are not from the library, that are joining the giant TBR. Hopefully this one will only be joining it very temporarily, because I've already started it and I'm reading it for the Booktube Prize Final, and this was very kindly sent to me by my good friend Gemma from Gemma Books, and it is How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. This is an interconnected short story collection, so I won't say any more about it because I'll be judging it later, but I have started this one, and thank you very much to Gemma for sending me this so that I can get it read. Next up, I also had some book mail from my other lovely booktuber friend Jack from Spread Book Joy, and Jack sent me some lovely books for my birthday and also a book that she was unhauling. Let's start with the unhaul from Jack, and that was The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. I still don't know if I will like Stuart Turton. I think I like the sound of his books. I still have The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle on my shelf to read, but The Devil in the Dark Water sounds even more interesting, a bit of a historical crime type thing, I think. And Jack very kindly sent me this, and it has a gorgeous cover, so thank you for that, Jack. Very, very nice. I shall enjoy reading that. Jack also sent me for my birthday some very lovely Buffy things that are bookish, and the first one is a Buffy graphic novel. This is from a new series, I believe newish, of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is volume 1, High School is Hell, by Geordie Belle, Dan Mora and Raul Angulo. I have already read this now, and it's really, really good, and it's it basically has Buffy and the gang going back to high school as though it's all starting again, but as though it's all starting again now instead of in the 90s. So really interesting spin on things, and I was left wanting more by the ending of this. So yeah, I will review it further in my wrap up, but really, really loved this. Thanks for sending this, Jack. And Jack also sent some Buffy goodies to go with it. So I had some Buffy stickers, Sunnydale High Slayer Squad, and Giles's famous mug that says "Kiss the Librarian." So those are very, very cool. Thanks, Jack. And also some really cool Buffy bookmarks, one with Willow as Dark Willow and one with Buffy. The Willow one says, "Prince of Night, I summon you, come fill me with your black naughty evil, Willow." And the Buffy one says, "If the apocalypse comes, beat me," which is one of my favourite Buffy early season quotes for sure. So really, really thrilled with those. And Jack also very, very kindly sent me 2 other books. One is a very, very welcome gift because I have been looking for second-hand Ray Bradbury books to read, and I'm hoping to read some more Ray Bradbury with the lovely Mitzi from Mitzi Reads and Writes and Art from Art's Bookshelf Odyssey, because we've read a couple of Ray Bradbury buddy reads, and I just really enjoy reading Ray Bradbury with the 2 of them. Art is very, very knowledgeable. If you would like to find out more about Ray Bradbury, do go over and check out Art's channel. This one is a Penguin science fiction old one, and it's called The Day It Rained Forever, which I hadn't heard of. This was published in 1959, and it's got a brilliant list of stories in there, so I cannot wait to get to that. Probably with Mitzi and Art next month. Jack also sent me Best Served Cold by Joe Abercrombie. We've been reading, along with Gemma from Gemma Books, we've been reading the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie, and Jack has reliably informed me that this is a standalone set in the same universe. So I will look forward very much to reading this. Sure, I will enjoy it because I've been really, really enjoying Joe Abercrombie. So delighted with that one. Thank you, Jack, so much for all those lovely presents. You would hope that that was the end of the book haul, but it isn't. Oops. So I do have a couple of books that I bought myself to show you. First of all, I needed a treat when I was recently in London because it was raining and I had to go in a bookshop to get out of the rain. I bought myself this to read on the way home, and I did read some of it on the way home, so that's fine, right? This won't be adding to the giant TBR because I've already read it. I seem to be having a bit of a Buffy phase at the moment. So this one is a graphic novel called Buffy, the Last Vampire Slayer, and this is self-contained within this book. So if you are a Buffy graphic novel fan but don't want to start a massive series, this one is all contained in this one. It collects together 4 comics, I believe, but that is now the end of this story, as far as I know. This one is set on an alternate Earth which has been ravaged by climate change, and as a result of that, vampires can walk in the day because of the polluted sky. So it's kind of dystopian as well. So in this dystopian society, Buffy is older. This follows an older Buffy who is sort of around about 50, and it follows her and where she is in her life at this point. And Buffy stumbles across, quite literally, a young girl who believes herself to be the next Slayer, the final Slayer. I had a really good time with this one. I think, judging from other reviews I've read, that this is not been especially popular, but I think if you're going to do an alternate universe, you can take some liberties, and I did enjoy this for exactly what it was, which felt like revisiting Buffy and getting like another fill of it in an alternate way. So yeah, good book, and I will review that further in my wrap up as well. Doing quite well. 2 of these books already read, but unfortunately I also bought 2 on a recent trip to London where I met so many booktubers. So I was really lucky enough to be able to go and do a big old book crawl of the bookshops in London with a fantastic group of booktubers. I will link them in the description down below. I think that at the peak we had 27 people with us, all booktubers, and that's a lot of booktubers. So it really felt like having the expertise and knowledge and recommendations of like the whole range of genres of booktubers, and it was so fun to meet everybody and to chat to everybody. Of course, I did not get away unscathed. A lot of booktubers bought a lot more books than I did, but I still did buy books. So what I tried to do was limit myself to books I could read for Shorty September, which is coming up soon. So I picked 2 books for that. They're both actually quite sci-fi. First one is To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. I picked this up in Gaze the Word on Marchmont Street, and I was going to try and pick up the much larger second book in the Wayfarers series by Becky Chambers, but one of my friends wanted it as well and there was only 1 copy, so I decided to get this slimmer volume. With this one separate to the Wayfarers series, I think it might be sort of more sci-fi, if that's possible. I have heard very good things about this novella, so can't wait to read that for Shorty September. I don't really know anything about the plot of this one, but with a short book I quite like to go in blind, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And the other book I picked up was a second-hand one, and I picked this up in Scoob Books, which is also pretty much on Marchmont Street, I think. It's kind of in the Brunswick Centre on Marchmont Street in London, and it's very cool in there. There's like a basement full of books, full of second-hand books, and this is actually a new book but bought second-hand, absolutely new condition, and this is The Word for World is Forest by Ursula K. Le Guin. It says winner of the Hugo Award, but I don't know if she won the Hugo Award for this or for something else, I'm not sure. I haven't actually as yet read an Ursula K. Le Guin. A smaller group of the booktubers were with me in Scoob, and we ended up in the science fiction section. I think I blame Jack from Spread Book Joy and also Gareth from Book Songs and Other Magic for this purchase, but I just absolutely couldn't resist it because this one, the blurb, I was like, yes, that's exactly what I'm in the mood for Shorty September. So it says, when the inhabitants of a peaceful world are conquered by the bloodthirsty humans, they find themselves forced into servitude at the mercy of their brutal masters. Eventually, desperation causes them to abandon their strictures against violence and rebel against their captors. But in doing so, they have endangered the very foundations of their society. For every blow against the invaders is a blow to the humanity of the Athshians, and once the killing starts, there is no turning back. So this sounds like a great place for me to start with Ursula K. Le Guin. It's a lovely science fiction masterworks copy. I do have a copy of I Am Legend in this series of books. So yeah, very much looking forward to trying this. Also for Shorty September, this is only 128 pages, so keeping it short, keeping my book haul tiny. So these are my two that are going on to the Shorty September list for this year. I have already read the 2 Buffy comics. I have not yet read the rest, so yeah. Hopefully I can read quite a few more books in August to make sure that my giant TBR does not go up. But yeah, this has been my book haul. I actually haven't received my subscription book yet, so that's still on the way. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this video today, please do give it a like. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. And please do comment down below. Have you read any of these books? Do you recommend any of them? That's all from me today. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me again soon for another video all about books here on Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. And yes, my TBR is out of control. Bye for now.